As the dark night began to yield today, I and two militia brothers stood at Blackpond's east gate, ready to head into the woods for game. The sky was a dull gray as dawn approached. Our chief had called us away at the last minute as the usual hunting party was missing, so it was up to us to check the snares they had set and hope to bring back something. Meat had become a scarce luxury. Most in Blackpond hadn't tasted it in weeks. We trudged past the weathered palisade. Some of the wooden stakes were rotting through, a silent sign of hard times. Outside the walls were fields and empty farms. The crops had been failing lately. Rows of young plants stretched out, but even from here the greenness looked faded, as if drained of life. Hope for a good harvest felt as brittle as the dry stalks crunching underfoot. By the time we reached the forest edge, the sun had not yet crested the horizon. The woods were still cloaked in darkness, silent except for the sound of our boots on leaf litter. It felt eerie stepping into the shadows. But soon the first light touched the treetops, silvering the highest branches. Dawn stirred the forest to life, birds began to chirp, and a cool light filtered through mossy trunks. After a few miles of trudging, we arrived at the hunting grounds where the snares were set. The morning revealed only empty traps. Every one of the squirrel and rabbit snares was sprung open, but contained nothing. It was strange. Either something had walked away with the catch, or something had triggered them without yielding prey. The woods felt suddenly very quiet, and a chill ran through me. We split up to cover more ground. I drifted slightly apart, staying alert for any sign of movement. It wasn't long before I caught an odd scent on the breeze, the metallic sting of iron. Blood. My stomach turned as I followed the smell. My footsteps slowed as I pushed through the ferns until I froze. There, hanging from a low branch of a gnarled pine ahead of me, was a body. A man. One of our own hunters from Milo's party swung just out of reach, an eerie silhouette in the dawn light. Shock paralyzed me for a moment. He was brutally mutilated. His left arm was missing. A ragged black burn mark marred his face. An empty dark eye socket stared sightlessly at the sky. His clothes were torn away, and deep wounds crisscrossed his chest and legs. This was no accident or animal trap. Something monstrous had done this. A wooden sign hung around his neck, the message scrawled in jagged letters. "Deliver us 10 boys and 10 girls no older than 3 years, or we will retaliate." I stumbled backward in horror and disbelief. My heart pounded in my ears. This wasn't just murder. It was a declaration of war, all at once. Gasping, I tore my eyes away and sprinted back toward the others. They appeared cresting a rise just ahead, tense but alert. I panted, trying to steady myself, and shouted, "Come quickly!" My voice was hoarse. They whipped around as I approached, hands already on weapons. "There's a body," I managed between breaths, "hanging from a tree. He's one of our men. We have to get out of here. Now." At first, they only stared, shock breaking into alarm. I pointed back the way I had come. "We have to report this." One of militiamen decided to go and look at his own eyes. It did not took him longer than few moments, and he come back. "The sign! They want children. We can't wait. We need to warn someone immediately." We turned and raced back through the forest, branches whipping at our faces. Our breaths came in ragged bursts as we barreled toward Blackpond, dread pressing in from all sides. The town's wooden gates were in sight when we finally slowed. My legs felt like lead, but fear kept me moving. My companions were ahead, glancing back now and then, their bows at the ready, sweat and grief mixing on their faces. We approached the manor where Chief Dan held office. Its heavy oak door stood silently closed, but a thin light glowed from within. Dan was speaking in harsh voices with one of the diplomats. It was clear I had interrupted something important, but I doubted there was anything more important than the message we had found in the woods.